You used to think when the opponent's ball had strong spin, you shouldn't use force anymore. That's not right. If your opponent uses power, you shouldn't force it. That's more like topspin thinking. Rally thinking. Backspin balls aren't like that. Quite the opposite. The more spin there is, the more force you need. Use friction and drive forward with force. It's not about hitting with power, it's about using friction with power. You're hit the net because the first bounce is right here. It's not about how much spin I serve. Even if you serve half spin, with no spin, you still can't lift it like that. Your force isn't going forward. Let me loop one for you. Everyone, take a look. Press into the ball and watch. A lot of people have this problem, especially on the backhand side. Let me give you a swing. Amateur players can't loop side backspin. Your swing looks like this when you start, and then your direction ends up like this. It should be like this first, then like this, right? A lot of people have this problem. They're afraid to go forward. You must go forward. If you don't go forward, the ball will go straight into the net. Even with the same technique, I'd hit the net too. It's not your hand technique. It's the direction of your force. Timing is very important when looping. See which contact point suits you. There's a rising point. Look, this is one point. The second point is the falling phase. Wait and watch during the falling phase. Find this contact point. The first rising point is good for borrowing the ball's power. The motion should be small. The brushing must be fast and focused. The second one is to step back a bit. Wait until the ball is not spinning as much. Open the racket angle a bit more. Make the swing slightly bigger. Rising point. Early falling phase. Rising phase. Early falling phase. Look which point you want to loop. If you were standing too close just now, and you pressed against the ball, and still applied force to the side, and didn't drive forward, and brushed too slowly, and hesitated even a little, you can't loop the ball over. You must drive forward, and the brushing speed. Same motion, watch why this one hits the net. Same motion, but this one goes over. Same motion, I speed it up a little. This motion. Speed it up more. Why does it go over later? Because the opponent gave me very strong spin. If I want to lift that spinny ball, I must accelerate the brushing. Otherwise, when it hits my racket, the spin is too fast. Just touching it would make it drop down. So if I do it slowly, I still can't handle that spin. I still can't control its arc. And I can't fix it with just the follow-through. The heavier the spin, the faster you must be. If there's no spin, it doesn't matter as much. It's not that you didn't brush, it's that the ball had spin. And you didn't brush enough. Your brushing was too slow. So when the ball has very heavy spin, accelerate. Watch my wrist. Grab the ball, then accelerate. Right, drive forward, beautiful. Drive forward. You used to think when the opponent's ball had strong spin, you shouldn't use force anymore. That's not right. If your opponent uses power, you shouldn't force it. That's more like topspin thinking. Rally thinking. Backspin balls aren't like that. Quite the opposite. The more spin there is, the more force you need. Use friction and drive forward with force. It's not about hitting with power, it's about using friction with power. For heavy spin balls, We need to really grab the ball with friction. We need to brush harder. If it were only about pure power, then I should reduce my force when he increases his. But spin is never that simple. Speed up your brushing. Dare to go forward. That's the correct way to handle backhand sidespin underspin. Nice, you grabbed it cleanly but your wrist is too stiff. Slow the movement down a bit. Why did it go into the net? Your wrist is locked too tightly, let it rotate. Why do you get jammed? Do you feel like you often get jammed? Because your anticipation is slow. When you usually stand here, if you drop it downward first, you wouldn't get jammed. Your preparation is slow. Why is pushing less likely to get jammed? Look, for example, I prepare it in front of my eyes. Because the movement range is small, and it's parallel toward the top of the table. For underspin balls, you must see it clearly. See the direction clearly. See the position clearly. That downward hand motion must be fast, clean and crisp. It's no longer a technique or friction problem. You're giving yourself too little time to drop and loop the ball. Your mistakes aren't about technique. They're because you didn't find the right space and rhythm early. You didn't find the space and the rhythm, so when preparing, find the golden contact point. Position yourself well. Anticipation is very important, especially in receive situations. Why do opponents use feints to fake us? But when they fake here, you must watch the movement to the end. They're delaying your judgment time. That's the key reason your return quality drops. Why do we practice feints? But we shouldn't be disturbed by them. We need to find the golden reading point. And right now I didn't increase the difficulty. I already told you it's sidespin underspin. If you're still slow, that's your problem. Rhythm, rhythm. Push forward again. Apply force through friction. Much better.